So, another week begins at Newcastle United. We still have no kits yet. We don't know what they're going to look like, despite plenty being across the internet. Signings, we still haven't got a clue. We seem to have missed out on some players. We've got some academy players coming in, but we need to concentrate on the first team, surely. But let's have a look. This is the Toon review. Hi everybody, this is the Toon Review YouTube channel, back again with some transfer news, or lack of it, with Newcastle United, as we tend to have at the club. But this is an important week for Newcastle, simply because it's the start of arbitration. It could be a very big few weeks for Newcastle United regarding the takeover. We can only keep our fingers crossed. Don't listen to anything really that's going on online, because I'm sure that if anything happens, it'll come out publicly. And that's what we need to see. Release statements from the club who are close to the situation, and we'll know better from them. With regards to transfers, we just haven't got a clue. It seems that we've missed out on a couple of players already that we were very, very strongly linked with. But that's just typical of Newcastle. I mean, this happens every transfer window. We always get players who are linked, and then suddenly we find that they go elsewhere, which is just typically the case at Newcastle United. One of the players we seem to have missed out on is rumour. He seems to have agreed personal terms with Southampton. Very, very good player, and will do very well in the Premier League. He's a very, very versatile player as well. So we seem to have missed out on him. Personal terms agreed with Southampton. Another one we seem to have missed out on is Takehiro Tomiyasu. He seems to be going to Spurs. Atalanta are also linked with him. But again, a very, very decent player. And Newcastle United, we have just so many times every freaking season we have this, where we are linked with so many decent players, but as usual, they just pass by on the river and disappear to another football club. And it's just always the same with us. And I don't think anything is going to change, quite frankly. Whether we've got £10 million or £50 million, it doesn't seem to matter, because we're always losing out on these players. There is no news on Christopher Ajer either. The new Celtic manager came out yesterday and said that he sees Ajer as a big player for Celtic, and that he wants to have a sit down and a talk with him and explain just how big things he can achieve if he stays with Celtic. So that could be all done and dusted and forgotten about very, very quickly, because I think had Newcastle United reacted a bit quicker to that he was available for £6 million and actually gone in for him officially, we may well have had him as a signing already. But as usual, nothing happens in this world with Newcastle United. Lee Charnley, God knows where he is. Mike Ashley, obviously, he's got other important things to deal with rather than transfers. He wants out of the club. It's just a never-ending merry-go-round, really. Players that have been linked. Yesterday was Rafa Silva of Benfica. Now, if we were to get him, that would be an awesome signing. Absolutely awesome. This guy is a talent. But his price tag is also 30 million quid. Now, when I tweeted this out yesterday, there was a lot of Newcastle United fans came back and said that it was a joke, laughing emojis, all of this. You know, you can only report what you're being told or what you've seen. Now, Newcastle United may well not be able to afford 30 million quid for this guy. But there is strong links coming out of Portugal as well, that this guy is a major interest for Newcastle United. Certainly it would be a marquee signing, and if we did go for him, then it's probably the only one we're going to get this season, this transfer window anyway. So, you know, it would be a marquee signing. It would be a tremendous signing. But unfortunately, 30 million quid price tag is the stumbling block for me with Newcastle United and all its fans. But you just never know. We splashed out 40 million quid for Joe Linton once. What's to say we can't do that again with someone like Silva, who would be a far, far, far bigger signing and a better player, in my opinion, than Joe Linton. But time will tell on that one. Another one that is linked with coming back again for another loan spell. This came out of the blue, is Valentino Lazaro. Now, he left and signed for, obviously, you know, he went to play in Germany last year and had a decent season there. Now, why he would want to come back to Newcastle United while Steve Bruce is in charge, I really don't understand that, because it's not like he was one of Steve Bruce's favourites. He very rarely got in the team, and I can't see that one. I just can't see that one happening. Lazaro himself, he came out and said that he was very, very frustrated with the amount of first-team football that he got at Newcastle. So for me, him going back is very, very strange. But again, stranger things have happened. Would you have him back? I mean, we saw glimpses of a decent player there. Remember the goal he scored at Bournemouth? Brilliant goal. But he wasn't really given an opportunity to see what he could do. I quite liked him, actually, from what I saw of him. But whether or not he comes back is a different kettle of fish. Now, the other one is Ross Barkley. Now, a lot of links have been made with Ross Barkley over the last couple of weeks. Because we know, obviously, his loan spell finished with Aston Villa. He's now back at Chelsea. And he's probably not going to be in Thomas Tuchel's first-team plans at all. He has bigger things on his mind than playing Ross Barkley. I'm sure that, the signings that they're linked with are just incredible. So Barkley will probably be looking for somewhere else to play his football next season. Why not at Newcastle United? Yes, he's had a few injuries, which seems to be the case for everybody that comes to Newcastle. But for me, he would do a damn good job. I think he's better than Shelvey, that's for certain. If we're not going to get Willock, then Ross Barkley may be the answer in the middle of the park. Certainly, I wouldn't be against him coming. I think he's a very, very decent player. But again, we have to make sure that if we're going to go for a signing like Ross Barkley, that he's 100% fit and there's no niggling injuries there, or there's no long-term injuries that are going to suddenly spruce up halfway through the season where we lose the player for weeks on end, because we've got players like that already in the team with Callum Wilson, St. Maximan. St. Maximan seems to be made of glass. We just hope he comes back a lot stronger next season. Callum Wilson, we know, has been notorious for muscle strains and muscle pulls over the seasons, even when he was at Bournemouth. So we need to make sure that the players we bring into Newcastle United are not going to be these injury-prone players that we've seen come in over the last few years, and we can rely on to be in the team and play the majority of the games. It's a massive importance, that, because we know that at the moment the squad depth is not that big. So if we do sign a couple of big players, we need to make sure that they can try and stay as fit as they can. Obviously, throughout the season, players are going to pick up injuries. That's just a given. But I think if we can just make sure that the medicals are done right, etc., and we get players who are fit. But then again, you know what it is? We've actually got to try and sign the twats first. Joe Willock, we still have no news on. Obviously, Arsenal pretty much have said that he's up for sale. Arteta confuses me, because a few weeks ago he said, that Willock was going to be in his plans for next year. There was a big opportunity for him. And then gradually over the weeks have gone by, Arsenal have been linked with so many other players that Joe Willock will be looking and thinking, well, I'm not going to fit into this side. I'm not going to be part of this side. So I may as well look elsewhere. Now, we know that there has been talks with Newcastle. Of course there has. But nothing has been agreed in stone yet. And again, reports are coming out that if a deal was to be made, it wouldn't be made until late summer, towards the start of the new season. Now, if that happens, we could get caught out again and somebody could just swoop in and nab Joe Willock straight away. And that would be a disaster, an absolute disaster. Because I think we could really build a side around Joe Willock. I think a lot of Newcastle United fans feel the same as that we can really go and do something with Joe Willock and have him there. Have him there, build the midfield around him. Not John Joe Shelvey, not players like that. Joe Willock, build a midfield around him. Build a spine of a team. A goalkeeper, good centre-backs, a spine in the middle of the park with Joe Willock, and obviously Callum Wilson up front. We've got that spine there. But again, this is all down to Steve Bruce and Lee Charnley to see what they can do, because, I mean, at the minute, I have as much faith in them as I do meeting the Pope this afternoon, which is not going to happen. So it's hard when you're a Newcastle fan, because you have to put up with so much crap, so many rumours. And yes, I put a lot of them out there on Twitter because I feel like the Newcastle fans need to know what's being said. Any rumours that are going around, just newspaper reports I like to put out there, because it creates a bit of discussion. People don't have to come back and shoot me in the head for it. It's just there for discussion, which I like doing in a normal adult way with Newcastle United fans on Twitter and on here. So let me know what you think of the transfer situation at the minute, because I think it's absolutely crazy again. We don't have, a new shirt for next season yet. Everything just seems to be rushed with Newcastle. And the biggest worry for me is with the kits. What are they going to be like? We've seen some concept ones. I put a video out last week, regarding the new shirts, and there was a strong rumour that they were going to be the kits. It's gone very, very quiet. The Evening Chronicle put another kit out towards the weekend. I didn't particularly like it, but, I don't know what to expect anymore with this club. Signings, shirts, God almighty, we don't even know who the owners are going to be across the summer. But, hey, that's the club we know and love, unfortunately. Two guys that have joined the club, academy players. We've got Sean Mavididi from Arsenal. He's due to come and sign papers with Newcastle United. And, of course, we've already got Remy Savage from Liverpool. But I can't see those two playing much of a part in the first team next season. I think they're mainly academy players and to build for the future. Now, that's a good sign for me that we are actually looking to build players for the future. Getting these guys in is a big thing, because a lot of people have criticised the academy in the past for not bringing players through, but we're actually bringing players in now to improve the academy. We know the under-23s have had a rotten time of it lately, so bringing in some extra manpower should do the job. But we need to start seeing these players come through into the senior team, which we haven't of late. We know there's players there who are probably good enough to come in, but Steve Bruce doesn't play these kids. He really doesn't. But hey ho. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you've heard anything about transfer rumours or who you'd like to see come in the summer. Are we again waiting too late for these players to come in before they're pinched by other sides, which is a serious possibility. But it's Newcastle United, isn't it? So leave a comment below. Let's have a conversation about it. If you have enjoyed the video, guys, please do smash the like button because it does help me build the channel. If you're new and you like what you see, lots of football coming up on here. Premier League, EFL, non-league, as well as obviously Newcastle United. So even if you're not an NUFC fan, please do hit the subscribe button. Lots of football coming up. But in the meantime, guys, if you're watching this on the Monday, then obviously we've got the England-Germany preview tonight and the match reaction tomorrow night at 7 p.m. straight after the game. Obviously, extra time and penalties will dictate that, but we'll see. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy your football and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Be strong. Be strong.